Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Huddle Up. First, I want to let you know that I am fresh in my new Huddle Up attire. We will be putting, my new Missouri Sports Network attire. We will be putting this out for sale. This is dope. This is nice. Not this. This is all beautiful. But this right here is really where it's at. I got my hat game. DA, let me see. You got your hat game. What you working with tonight, brother?
Just going neutral, baby. Just going neutral.
I love it. I love it. Guy, we got to get you to do something that no most people do. You got to step it up. Okay, my friend, you got to step the hat game up. Anybody, please send donations to Guy Newcomb, scoreboard guy. Google him. You'll find out all his information. He needs a new hat. But, gentlemen, on this segment, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. I almost had to eat some crow. Here's the deal. Let's talk about the Missouri State Bears. They did almost something that would have been improbable to think about 3 years ago. They went into Arkansas, they went into Fayetteville and gave Arkansas every bit of everything they wanted. Now, all of us being competitors, we understand after about a quarter or two, not even two, you kind of realize I'm going to be in for a long ride today. Or, hey, man, we can play with these guys. And I think Missouri State got that confidence rolling that they could play with the Razorbacks, and they went down there and put on a show. They lose to the Razorbacks 38-27. Arkansas got a late TD, so it's actually 31 right up 27, but it was 38-27. Jason Shelley is a stud. He put on a performance that left a lot of Power 5 conferences, schools going, I wish we had him. He did his thing. Guy, you couldn't wait for the Missouri State upset and have me just eating all the crow with a big shovel and a little spoon. Guy, what were your thoughts about the Bears? And tell me about Shelley and how you think Petrino fared going back into his old stomping grounds.
Well, I tell you, when you got the best coach and the best quarterback on the field, you're going to have a chance. And Shelley was sacked 8 times and knocked down 12. I mean, he may start feeling a little bit of that battered quarterback syndrome if they don't start protecting him. He's not going to be able to go a whole season like this. But his athletic ability and the play calling, and I don't remember who I told. I may have said this on the air last week. But if they win the toss or if they end up with the football, they're going to go down and score. And they did. They went down and scored. Then they kick a field goal. And you take away, they had 4 plays. Arkansas had 4 plays in the fourth quarter that led to 21 points. They get the punt return and then the 2 big touchdowns on 4 plays. And that's a matter of they got 22 extra scholarships. That's like having 11 more guys on offense and 11 more guys on defense. You're just going to wear them down. And that's what happened. They got worn down, and they blew some assignments. And typically, when you get physically tired, you get mentally tired, and you make a mistake. And that's what happened on the punt return. And now there was three penalties on that play, but that could have came back, and that may have been the difference in the game there. They just kind of broke their backs. But I was thoroughly impressed. I did not think that Arkansas was going to be 23 points better than Missouri State. And I went on record with that. And I thought, with 10.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, there's no way they're going to beat them by 23. They're down 10. So, but I was impressed, and I can't wait for Saturday with South Dakota State.
DA, guys saying a lot of things. I don't remember him putting anything on record about them not being 23 points. Saying they're going to get a coin flip and go down and score. But whatever dreams you may have had, yeah, you might have said them then, but you didn't say them on this show, so there's not a record of it. But I will leave it for DA to kind of clean up where you left off. DA, you got extra scholarships and you got a lot of people that redshirted. They just lost the game. You can sit here and make excuses about them being tired and worn down, DA. They lost the game. You show up and show out in the fourth quarter. I didn't give them that. They didn't execute down the stretch. I'm not going to say they were tired. They just lost. DA, what are your thoughts?
I tend to agree with you. And by the way, I can eat 50 eggs. Just going to put that out there for everybody. No, no, getting back to topic at hand. I was thoroughly impressed, and I think they gained when I say they, the Missouri State Bears gained a lot of confidence on that opening drive, and I think the Bears are going to go as that offense goes. The defense has some deficiencies, but they're capable. They have some good pieces in place, but I think that whole engine is going to be determined on how the offense is going, and obviously he's led by Jason Shelley, but there's a lot of good supporting cast that he has, and they've got good balance in their offensive attack. They really do. I've been impressed, and I think that's what kind of surprised Arkansas a little bit was the balance that they do have, and then just Shelley's ability to scramble and make plays out of nothing. And he did get hit a lot. And you hope, they've got another big one coming up this weekend. In all reality, in the whole scheme of things, bigger than last weekend's. Hey, they went, they represented, they did a great job. They had everybody in the football world had their eyes on that game while they're watching top 5 matchups elsewhere. People are looking at that scoreboard, but this week there's 2 top 5 teams that are going to battle out at Missouri State with South Dakota State, and it's going to be a very important test right out of the gate again.
It's going to be a very important test.
If they win this game, they'll be favored the rest of the year. There's not a game they'll play after this game where they won't be favored. And I think win or lose, because North Dakota State's not on their schedule, and so they're gonna be favored in every game after this game, and they're probably favored in this one. Another thing you got to realize, you got an All-American tight end who hadn't played a snap yet in Stetson Moore, and now I don't know what his status is right now as far as being available for this week, but they kept him out of that Arkansas game because they didn't want to delay that him getting back in the lineup. But he's a difference maker. He's a Travis Kelce at this level. And so I'm excited.
I am too. Come out, Bears, South Dakota State this Saturday. It should be a great atmosphere for a collegiate game here in the Ozarks. Come out and support the Bears. They got an exciting team. Just came up a little short last week. One team that didn't come up short was the Kansas City Chiefs. They went and they played the Chargers last week at home Thursday night. Arrowhead was rocking, and Mahomes put on a decent show, if I might add. 24 of 35, 235 yards and 2 TDs. The Chiefs look like the Chiefs. Are they missing a little bit? I would say they are. I don't think they can get the quick score, but they look good, DA. And so we're not even going to talk about them missing Tyreek Hill. They got pieces to put in place that are going to make them formidable throughout the rest of the year.
I agree. And similar to what I just said, I think they are going to go as their offense goes. Their defense looked really, really good in week 1. Last week, obviously, a little better opponent. How good is Justin Herbert? I mean, that guy, he's incredible. And the Chargers are going to have something to say about who wins the West and who gets to the Super Bowl. Yeah. They have made themselves known and kind of set themselves up as that very close number 2 to the Chiefs right now in that division. So, but yes, I was very impressed. Great win for the Chiefs. The one thing I like about the Chiefs this year is it's not a 1 or 2 man show, especially with the receiving core. Edwards-Helaire has been, I think there were a lot of question marks coming into the season on how he would perform. Can he stay healthy? He's been pretty reliable and kept that balance on offense for them. I still think they've got some issues that they're going to have to shore up on defense. It's week 2, getting ready for week 3. I think that's kind of a natural thing. Offenses are going to be a little better prepared than what defenses are right now, just because there's not a whole lot of game film out, for new coaches, new systems, what have you, offensive coordinators. And I think that will shore up a little bit as time goes on.
Yeah, I don't think it was so much Chiefs doing Chiefs things as it was Chargers doing Charger things. I mean, that 99-yard touchdown interception return to a rookie, he picks that off. He's gone. That's the difference in the game. Yeah. If they get in the end zone right there, that's just Chargers doing Charger things when it comes to Chargers versus Chiefs. And you can't tell me if you were watching that game, you weren't really concerned with the ball inside the 10-yard line, and then that interception comes. Okay, that saved their butts. But the biggest thrill I had is the fact that the Raiders may go 0-3, and that'd be the first time in 15 years the Raiders are 0-3.
Yeah.
But Chiefs, they're okay, but that was more Chargers doing Charger things.
I hear you. I don't disagree with you. I know the Chiefs, you say the Raiders might go 0-3, but the Chiefs got a chance to go 3-0 as they head to Naptown to play the Colts, who had an embarrassing loss for them in Jacksonville, where Jacksonville shut them out. So we'll see what the Chiefs do. They go on the road for a noon Central start against Jacksonville and see if they can go ahead and push that record to 3-0. Gentlemen, we saved kind of the most saddest part of this segment is the Mizzou Tigers. It's disappointing. I just don't know what's going on over there in Columbia. I don't know if it's going to get fixed. I don't know how long this guy is Drinkwitz going to be around. They just didn't look good. And you would expect them, they were 5 touchdown favorites, 34, 35-point favorites against Abilene Christian. And you could do what I would consider, they kind of squeaked out a win. But they're just inconsistent on offense. Defense is somewhat got holes in it. Guy, I'm not sure what your thoughts are on the Tigers, but gentlemen, it's not looking good in Columbia.
No, I'd rather have Frost as a coach. I mean, that's how bad it is. And I don't know who lasts longer, Drinkwitz or Mike Matheny. I mean, somebody's gonna walk the plank, and Mizzou's not gonna put up with this stuff. And there's a lot of pride up there in Columbia with regards, and moving to the SEC, it's a great money move and things like that. But that your season is just going to get brutal for the rest of the way out, and you're going to get beat up. And so, we'll see. But I would not be surprised if he doesn't make it until the end of the season.
DA, give me some numbers. What is your percentage on you thinking him making it? I don't know they play it to they'll fire the man in the middle of the season, but what are your numbers? What do you think? What do you think Mizzou's going to do if they?
I think it'll really have to fall off the cliff. He's going to have to lose the locker room for them to fire him mid-season. That may be a different story at the end of the season. But dadgum, they finally put the ball in Luther Bolden's hands, and good things are happening. I mean, he went out with an injury after that punt return for a TD, and gosh, Johnny, I think he had 177 all-purpose yards.
Yeah.
The kid is an athlete. He's a 5-star. He was a 5-star recruit for a reason, number 13 in the nation in most scouting reports. So you've got to let your playmakers make plays, and I think got to see a little bit of that. Unleash the hounds, man. Let your athletes be athletes and go play football. And their defense has got to get a little more. They've just got to get an attitude. It's hard to tell what their purpose is out there on the field, and they'll look good for a play and look horrible the next 4 plays. Got to be consistency.
That is true, my friend. The Missouri Tigers take on the Auburn Tigers this Saturday, 11 o'clock. Auburn didn't look particularly good against Penn State. Penn State had their way with them. If Mizzou goes down there and lays an egg and Auburn really hammers them, there's going to be some interesting questions going Drinkwitz's way come early Sunday morning. Gentlemen, that has been our collegiate section here on football. We'll come right back, everyone. Stay tuned and be ready for Huddle Up. When we come back, we're going to go really fast, talk about our local sports and how the high school seasons fared last week and the game of the week this week. You're listening to Huddle Up here at the Missouri Sports Network. Be